Hello, I'm Wayne Visser and I'm Director of CSR International, and I'm here today with Dr Kahlenborn, who's Managing Director of Adelphi Consult, who's doing some work for the EU high-level group on CSR, where we've been at a meeting today. Welcome. Could you start by just telling us a little bit more about what your mandate is in the work you're doing here?
Yes, Wayne, it's a pleasure to tell you that. Our mandate is to support the Commission in several areas. We are performing research together with several partners, especially together with CREM and with the public procurement research center in Munich. Together with those partners, we are performing studies on, first of all, supply chain management, then on reporting, CSR reporting in Europe, and on public procurement, social public procurement. Finally, we also perform a task for the Commission, which is about to publish a compendium on CSR policies all over Europe.
Okay. Now, I know you can't talk about the specific results of the research yet, but have you picked up any general trends in those areas through the research that you've done?
Well, we are not yet so far, as you said, to talk about specific trends, and I'm sorry, I'm reluctant to say something about those, about any trends or performances in various areas. We have just started to, on the various studies, to come up with, to perform the first literature research, and we are not in the process yet to come up with any results.
So what is the timing of the results then?
Oh, well, the first results will be ready by September, October, and the final study will be ready by December this year.
Okay. But I know that you're doing other interesting work in related areas, and some research you've been doing, particularly in the area of SRI. Can you share any of that with us?
Yeah, certainly I can do so. We have just finished two studies, I have to say, in the area of financial services and climate change and the impact of SRI. One study has been on a carbon footprint of SRI, or specifically on climate funds, and that has been very interesting, as we have seen that a number of German climate funds actually have a carbon footprint which is not better than conventional funds. Something which one would not expect, I would say, which does not give really credit to those funds. And then we have carried out a second study on the impact of SRI. There is on the one hand always a question, how clean is SRI, but the other question is, what is its impact? And we have asked a number of large companies and medium-sized companies if they feel any influence by SRI, and the results have been quite interesting.
Can you say anything about those results? What are the impacts?
Yeah, well, on the one hand, we have seen that a number of large companies really see they are listed in SRI funds, something which you not necessarily would expect, as those funds are marginal and they're very tiny investors in those large companies, and still they know about them and they feel that they get a positive influence from them. So a number of CSR departments said, okay, their work is more appreciated within the company, their voice is stronger, they are heard better by the boards since they are listed in SRI funds. They also say, for example, climate strategies or sustainability strategies of the companies have been strengthened by SRI investors. So that is certainly a very positive aspect. But on the other hand, we have seen that only those companies which really are listed oftentimes in SRI funds are influenced by the funds. That basically means that most companies are not influenced by SRI funds. And it's especially the large companies, the very large companies, which are influenced to some extent by SRI funds, but not the smaller ones. So SRI does not really have an impact on the broad economy. It's just a tiny fraction, the largest companies, but it is only a smaller fraction of the economy.
And even those that are listed, would you say that that SRI is actually influencing their behavior, or is it simply giving them reward for behavior that they have anyway?
No, we have asked them if it really has an impact on both the institutional side, the procedural aspects within the company, and it has. It is not just a reward, but the CSR departments, for example, say they are stronger. For example, that means basically there are more people working within the CSR departments. They have a stronger voice versus other departments in the company. They can, as I said, come up with stronger climate policies, for example. So it really helps them to deliver, to put an input in the rest of the company to be stronger versus the other operational departments.
Mm. And just to conclude and to get a feeling for how far we have still to go, you said that SRI is still tiny. Have you got any sense, in numerical sense, of how big is the SRI market compared to the general market?
Yes, the SRI market, specifically now concerning the mutual funds, is in Germany, is in the size of about 0.5%, something like that, something between 0.5 and 1%. It always depends what you still include and what not. For what about the large companies, even those companies which are most often listed in SRI funds, they have only something like 0.3%, 0.4% of total investments by SRI funds, not more than that. So normally one would say they do not even notice that SRI funds are part of their investors, but they do. They notice it.
So at the very least we could say SRI funds are punching above their weight, but still have a long way to go.
Yeah, you can say so, yeah.
Okay, well, thanks very much for your time today, and all the best.